So you went to because that was a big thing. We were at David's house in Chicago, and his mom is so sweet. His dad is so wonderful. They got me drunk, but his mom wanted David to go to the soccer game on his brother's soccer game. I love how
you just like skipped over it. They got me drunk, and then
they got me drunk on Russian vodka or whatever it was, Slovakian liqueur.
Jason got drunk, and then we're in the car, and he's like, "Come on, let's go do something. Let's go do something. Let's go to the bars. Let's go to the bars."
I go to your dad. I go, "Is this a 151 proof?" And he goes, "No, 250." Like you can't get more than 151 in this country.
Got
like
the
that's his pussy drink.
That's his pussy drink. You make my dad seem so much more hardcore than he is.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification to get notified about new posts and to help the channel grow.
No, he's a sweet guy. He's not.
What do you think about my parents?
I just love them so much. And
does it explain anything about me?
Oh my God, it explains so much. It was like being like a sociologist. And like, you know, because I'm so fascinated with how you're made up. And then it just explained everything.
How?
Like why you're angry.
I'm not like my parents. Why you're angry?
It explained.
You're like, I would be pissed if I was living with them too.
It explained why you're angry. It explained.
What do you mean?
It explained your work ethic. It explained.
Okay, explain how it explains my work ethic.
Because I heard their whole story. Like your dad came here first.
Yeah.
That's super hard. Left you when you were a baby.
Yeah.
And had to work in New York for a year. Doesn't know any English. I guess has some photo skills and manages to get a job in a dark room. Yeah. And then he's like working here. So then he finally gets enough money, brings your mom here, brings you here when you're 5. You don't speak English.
My mom came and then I flew over by myself. And I surprised my mom when I was 6.
And you videotaped it? You vlogged it? 5-year-old surprise.
Surprised my mom with scorpions.
Surprising mom with illegal immigration.
I do a follow-up video. Surprising my mom with deportation.
These are clickbait titles that I hope everyone understands. But anyways, yeah. Shut up. You flew over by yourself when you were 5?
Yeah. Okay. This was actually this was post 9/11. So this is a weird thing. My dad was actually in New York during 9/11. This has nothing to do with it. But yeah, I flew over by myself. And when I started crying because I was 6 and I was really scared. And the stewardess like took care of me. They took me out of my seat and they took me back to where they where like, you know, where the stewardess sit. And that's where I got my first blowjob. God damn it. That was my joke.
Sorry. Go ahead, do it again.
No, but they took me back and they took care of me and they're like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" Like they were really nice to me. And then they asked me if I wanted to go inside the cockpit and see how the pilot flies the plane. And now that I said it, it sounds pretty dark. Yeah. And I don't think it was like that. But I'm surprised because
they got a bomb strapped to your chest at 5.
Jesus Christ!
Little did they know. I was Slovakian spy. Give me a juice box. I'm going to blow this plane up.
No, but it was pretty incredible that they let me into the cockpit. But I said no because I was so sad and I was so crazy. So I just decided not to go into the cockpit, and that's like a big opportunity.
Was your mom already in LA in the States?
She was in Ohio, yeah. And I went to surprise my mom.
Who put you on the plane? Your grandparents?
My grandparents. And then my dad picked me up. And I had like a one person that was chaperoning me. She pushed me on the plane, and then another person took me off the plane.
David, this is a traumatic experience that you need to analyze.
Everyone always reacts to it.
You need to analyze this.
Me?
Yeah, this is why you're such a lone wolf.
This is why I love first class.
This is why last night at Buffalo Wild Wings, you were just kind of like checked out.
What do you mean?
You're completely checked out last night.
Well, at Buffalo Wild Wings?
Yeah.
What does this have to do with wings?
Oh, no, it doesn't have anything to do with wings. It's just that I was stating the location. But you need to analyze this. Are you being put on the plane by yourself, not knowing anyone, sad you're leaving?
I don't think that was anything
detached
traumatic.
From your home?
Jesus Christ.
It probably built a lot of character.
You make me start crying now. You know what? That's what it was.
Did you cry on the plane?
A lot. I cried the entire trip. I was that kid.
It must have been like 11 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably like 9 or 10. Yeah.
I can't believe they just put you on the plane.
You're like, your parents are awful.
No, I know what you mean. I guess they had to do it. But anyways, getting back to it, yeah, it explains so much, like your work ethic. Like, okay, they come here, they don't know anything. Your mom has like a good job over there, like a skilled job. She comes here. They go to New York. Then they go to Toledo, which I'm sure is an armpit.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
And then she goes and she says she works at a bakery.
Yeah,
but
so good.
The interesting thing was what she said was she's like, I didn't care. She's like, I loved it so much.
The bakery?
Yeah, like she didn't really want to be working at a bakery, but she was so happy just to be here.
Say more things than my mom would have said.
She was like, I didn't care. I cooked the pies. It didn't matter to me. I was so happy. I loved coming home and watching Cosby Show. And which is awesome. Like
nothing better than feeling custard up into the donuts. That was my release. The custard represented in me coming into this country. And it was the most remarkable experience of my life.
Yeah, that was kind of, and I don't like to get too sentimental, but I mean, yes, I do. I love to get sentimental. But I love American stories like that. Like if I meet someone from another country and they moved here, I love to hear them say, I love it here.
Oh, yeah.
I love to hear that. I'm like, oh, you like it here? That's awesome.
It's the best. But my parents love it here because it's great, like financially, but they hate it. They just hate, they miss the culture. They're so old fashioned. And that's like the part where we completely differed on. I was like, America, America, America. And like the thing is with my parents, I would always piss them off and I would always pretend like I hate Slovakia.
Right.
But then when I would go to school, I would pretend like I hate America. And I would be so for Slovakia. But I was so young and I loved to like tick them off. And I'd be like, oh, I don't care anything about Slovakia.
Why were you so interested in ticking them off?
I don't know. I think I was just a teenager and like I would just love to like just get into arguments and stuff.
I think because they were foreign, you were assimilated, and you're kind of a hot shot. I think that was
when I was assimilated, I was kind of a hot shot. Oh, like
you were assimilated to the country, and I think that's your way of drawing a line. Like, hey, I'm different than you. I'm American. You're from the shitty old country, and I think subconsciously you were drawing that line in the sand, like, fuck off. I'm fucking American. Don't be this old way. And then, of course, you went to school. That's just to them. And then you go to school and you're like, because deep down, I'm sure you care about them. So now you make up for it by going to school and being all Czech Republic or whatever the country's called.
Slovakia. No, I think
whatever.
I think that's
Fill the donuts with the cream.
I think that's a little intense. I think it was just like my parents' like overall like just mentality about things. Like one example I remember so vividly is like I would say, why don't we ever play the lottery? And they were, a normal answer would be like, because you don't win. But their answer was, what do we need the money for? Like if we won, we don't need that.
It's bizarre.
And that's what would be so frustrating to me. I'd be like, if you don't need it, someone else does. So you can go and, start a charity. And like, that was always so frustrating to me. Like, how do you not need money? Like, I never understood that. And like that whole mentality is kind of what was different between me and my parents.
Right.
Like it was like I was super like American and like, this American dude. And then they were just like, they loved like the roots in Slovakia. And they were like, well, because they lived their entire life there. So I don't blame them. It was, it's like me leaving America right now.
I think it's interesting that they moved here and they made their life better, but it came at a price maybe, or maybe they think to themselves, it completely changed our children.
Yeah.
Like it ripped our values.
I guess, but it gave us new values. I think that like the whole, I don't know. I don't think it's that serious.
Did you go to Toby's soccer game? Did he win?
I did go to my brother's soccer game.
He score?
He scored.
He scored?
He scores a lot. He's really good.
He's good?
But he missed the game-winning goal. I mean, like literally the easiest goal on the face of the earth. He got off the field and I'm like, you do realize you messed up the game.
David!
And he's like, I know. I'm surprised like how smart he is for 7 years old. Like I was talking to him, it was just me and him on the couch. And I'm like, he's 7 years old.
No, he's super smart.
Yeah.
You could get that right away when you talk to him.
And I'm like, I heard you're really good at soccer. And he's like, who told you that? And I'm like, your parents. And he's like, well, they have to say that. They're my parents.
Yeah.
And like that's like a pretty fun thing to pick up on when you're a kid.
Yeah.
So like when he got off his soccer game, I was pretty real with him. I'm like, you did great, but you missed the game-winning goal there. And he's like, I know.
Describe the goal. Was it literally like in front of him?
Right in front of him.
How far from the goal?
I mean, literally 5 feet because he's so small that 5 feet is like a big difference.
Sure.
But it was 5 feet. It was right on the edge. And
where was the goalie?
He was on the floor somewhere else.
Because they're only 7 playing Pokemon.
Oh, my favorite thing was when you met my brother. You met my brother and you start talking to him and he's giving you like short responses. And I go, oh, Jason, he's deaf. He's really hard of hearing.
I walk into David's place. I'm not there. 30 seconds. Toby's sitting on the couch, 7 years old. I'm like, hey, Toby, nice to meet you. He doesn't say much. And then David's kind of perfectly walks upstairs, turns around, and with total seriousness in his voice and really kind eyes goes, oh, Jason, he's deaf. And then I go, oh no, I'm so sorry. And then David goes, I'm kidding.
It's funny because like Toby was responding to what Jason was saying. So it didn't click with Jason at all that I've been talking to this kid for a solid 15 seconds now.
Maybe he reads lips.
Jason's like, oh my God, I cured his deafness just by walking into the room.
Oh God, David.
No, but Toby's not deaf. And I like my parents. We just didn't get along when I was a kid. That's the overall message of today's podcast.
And then I was uploading and it took forever. And David, they were so glad that
oh my God, they love when I stay around. They don't understand that I have to go and film. They don't understand that that I have to leave. Yeah. They're like, why don't you stay more and watch us put custard into donuts?
What? Yeah, she said to me, what are you doing for 5 hours? Because we were editing our respective vlogs on Friday to post.
And they take a while to edit. Sometimes it takes 6-7 hours, which is kind of hard to believe. A lot of people don't understand how much editing we do. Like I have a 4-minute vlog. And it's consistently every time 4 minutes and 20 seconds. There's nothing different about it other than maybe the content that's in it. But every time I sit down to edit, I have an hour and a half to 2 hours of footage. So if you wanted a completely boring vlog, I can upload a 2-hour vlog. But I'm not going to do that no matter how hard and how bad people want it.
Right.
Because it's awful. And it will just be like any other vlogger. But yeah, I always have at least an hour and a half of footage to go through. I vlog a lot. I just put the best parts